Howdy gang, the Tom Solo here. I've been working on a couple of projects for a program I want to launch. It will feature, a big old heron just took off out of my creek. That was cool. I've been working on a couple of projects for a program I want to start to get myself into the sphere of being a history and science communicator and working with educational programming. And unfortunately, my progress has been kind of crappy because I get in my own way a lot, and I was feeling kind of dumpy about it. And then when I talked to my wife about it, she said, well, I'm sure a lot of people that create these kinds of things go through that same feeling because you have to start somewhere. And then I realized that that was my perfect intro. So if you'll give me a few moments of your time, I'd like to start with this image here. That image might not look like much, but I find it quite inspirational, and it kind of reminds me of where I'm at now and where I hope to be. So if you'll come with me, yes, I did change shirts, and I'm recording this at a different time of day because the computer I had this stored on has crashed. But if you'll come with me, we'll check out the Zambezi River, the African waters of life. This little picture that we have here is the beginning of the Zambezi River. It just looks like a little bubbling puddle. In fact, if it wasn't for the signs that are now up around it, because it's considered a historic site, you might not even notice it when you walk by it. You could step right over it and not see the beginnings of the fourth largest river in Africa. A river that provides life and sustenance for a multitude of wetlands, woods, forests, and savannas, and more aquatic ecosystems than you could shake a stick at. Now, that little puddle winds up turning into a 1,599-mile long river that goes through multiple countries in Africa. Zambia, Namibia, Angola, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. About halfway down the river, we hit Victoria Falls, the largest waterfall in the world by volume, rivaled only by the Iguazu Falls in Argentina and Brazil. Spit all over my notes. Thank you. I love you so much. So happy that you did that. The Victoria Falls is a 1.06 mile wide sheet of water with drops between 295 and 355 feet, plummeting into the Zambezi Gorge, moving over 1.8 million cubic feet of water per minute. That's enough to fill 20 Olympic swimming pools every single minute of every single day. Friggin' incredible. The first European to see it was that Dr. David Livingstone. You know him, he's the guy from the old boomer cartoons that everybody always refers to. Dr. Livingstone, I presume. Livingstone had wrote about the falls, quote, no one can imagine the beauty of the view from anything witnessed in England. It had never been seen before by European eyes, but scenes so lovely must have been gazed upon by angels in their flight. Just past the falls, we run into Lake Kariba, created by the foundation of the Kariba Dam. The lake is the largest man-made lake on the planet, with a width of 25 miles and being 139 miles long in the wet season. Here comes, roughly 2/3 of the way down the river, we run into the Cahora Bassa Lake and Dam, a second man-made obstacle of the river. Between the two of these structures, generate more power than standard nuclear power plants in a given year. Approximately 400 miles down from the Cahora Bassa, the river strikes the Indian Ocean. The largest river to enter this body of water. And that is not where I'm at, but it's where I start. I'm in a little bubbling puddle under a tree right now. I'm actually sitting under this Syrian hibiscus that my wife got that has grown up from being about 6 inches tall. Now I think it looks really good, but that's not the point. The point is, that's where I'm starting, and this is kind of how I want this project to go. I'm hoping that it does. I hope you'll join me on my program. At this point, I can only hope that my progress goes in a way similar to the Zambezi River, which is maybe humble in its beginnings, but through perseverance and carrying on, winds up being one of the wonders of the natural world. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, you can like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, scream about it to random passersby on a street corner or on. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Discord, Patreon, most of the socials. The Tom Solo here.